Welcome to day one of the Festive Pilates and Mobility program. Today's session is going to be all about the hips. And for today, what you're going to want is access to some kind of strap. So whether that is a belt, a tie, or the tie from like your dressing gown cord, for instance, something that you'll be able to loop around your feet and use to help you in aid of some stretching. So we're going to get started with some nice gentle butt kicks, just starting to get those legs moving. So shifting from side to side, kicking up towards your bum. And we'll do another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to the middle. And then we're going to go for some gate openers. So knee up and take it out to the side. And then we're going to repeat on the opposite leg. And if I wobble everywhere, I promise I haven't started the festive drinking just yet. But I'm looking past the camera in order to make sure that I stay balanced. Let's go for another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'll try that one again. 5. You can see that I'm not making any edits to this video. 6. And then we're going to go into some leg swings. I'm going to stand side on so that you can see me. So we're going to swing forward and back. And in the back, we want to make sure that we squeeze our bum rather than arching our back. So I'm staying nice and upright, but squeezing here. And let's swap legs. And then we're going to stop. Just working for a little bit of our ankle mobility as well. So standing on one leg, working through small circles with that foot. Again, a nice chance for you to practice your balance. And then change directions of those circles. And then swap legs. And then take it the other way. Ooh. I promise, definitely not on the eggnog. Good. And then we're just going to shift our weight from side to side. And then lastly, we're going to go to some pelvic tilts. So I'll do these sideways. So tucking your tailbone under and then pushing your bum backwards. So imagine we've got a bucket of water and we're spilling it out the back and then spilling the water out the front. So we'll just work through some of these. Good. Couple more. Lovely stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into a slightly wider stance. So feet are going to be about shoulder width apart and just toes out to the side. And we're going to go into a mini squat and then up and bring the leg back into extension. So much like the leg kicks that you were doing a minute ago. So mini squat, up, kick the leg back into extension. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see me. Mini squat, up, extend, squeezing that butt. Mini squat, up, extend, squeeze that butt. So keep going, mini, up, and extend. Mini, up, extend. So we're really challenging your balance on this. Mini squat, up, extend. Mini squat, up, extend. So nice and slowly so that you don't lose your balance. And just really think about squeezing your butt as you pull your leg back. Squat, up, extend. So I'm going to go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, wait, and 4. Good. And then we're going to shake it off back into some leg curls. So we're going to do that again for round 2. Obviously, if you want to make it harder, then you can drop down into a bigger squat. If you're finding it quite challenging to do the extension here without wobbling everywhere, you could go up against a wall so that you could hold on as you go into that leg extension, because I'd rather that you be able to do the movement fully than wobbling around everywhere and feeling unsafe. So that's your options for round 2, okay? So I'll just go through that again with you. So we're gonna mini squat or deeper if you want to. Lift, extend the leg behind you. Squat and extend. So we really want to feel the squeeze in the glutes to lift your leg behind you. Just go as low as you feel comfortable in the squat. If you've got any knee or hip pain, consider just making the movement smaller, whatever works for you. Okay? If you haven't realised yet, I'm really not a big fan of like videoing myself. So if I'm not coming across like the normal version of me, that's why. We're going to go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. And if you see me sweating, it's because the heating's on. Because I thought that was a good idea, obviously. Okay, so from here, we're going to go wider stance. And then what I want you to do is come down and fold all the way towards the floor so that your hands are on the floor. If you can't reach here, and this is a struggle, you could get a couple of like Pilates blocks or a little stool or anything that you could just pop your hands on into this position if you're struggling to get into that forward fold position. And from a sideways perspective, all I want you to do is just fold down like so. All right, so that's the movement that we're going to get ourselves into. And then from here, I want you to just take it in alternate directions, bending through your knee, again, as low as you want to go. So we should be feeling a bit of a stretch on the inside of our thighs. When we're in this position, it will be the opposite leg that you'll feel that stretch in. Definitely having regrets on that heating now. I'm filming this on a very mild 4th of December. Look at me organised. Okay, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then come up nice and slowly, back into the middle, and then back into some more leg curls for me. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy down in that position, then please just take your time, be steady. Maybe don't stay down there for quite as long as I was. If you're getting that lightheadedness, feel free to come up, get your sort of equilibrium back again, and then come back down again. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you stay safe at home. So we're going to go into that one more time. So nice wide stance. You can go as wide as you want to go here. And as I said, if you need a little bit of support in this position, you can get yourself something to lean on as well. And then we're just going to rock backwards and forwards, keeping that momentum going. Feeling a stretch and then coming out of it. So we're not going to hold any stretching in this position. Okay, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to come down onto the floor, onto your mat. So remember I said about needing access to some kind of strap? Well, here's my dressing gown cord. As you can see, purple and white. Very exciting. And then we're going to come into a wide leg stretch, trying to sit yourself up nice and tall rather than slouching forward if you can. So from here, taking this strap, popping around your right foot and using that as your way of being able to pull yourself towards your leg. But to start off with, we're just going to soften the knee and we're going to lean forward into that stretch, chest up. So keeping your chest out. Sorry, just hit the microphone. That might have been a bit annoying. And then from here, we're going to straighten that leg and keep ourselves in that stretched position. So you don't want to be working more than about a 7 out of 10 in terms of your stretch. Anything more than that, and it's just going to be really, really uncomfortable. So we're looking 6 to 7 out of 10 in terms of that stretch. And we're going to come up again with our knee, keeping ourselves forward. And down again. Seeing if you can just get any further forward. As you can see, I'm never going to do the splits. And then one more, lifting that knee. And down. And just see if you can go any further. Now, when it looks at the other leg, you want to just make sure that while you're in this position, the toes of this leg are pointing upwards and you haven't just dropped your hip inwards. So keep those toes pointing up on the other leg for me. And then we're going to relax, take that strap, move it over to the other foot. And again, we're going to start with the same. So knee bent and coming forward. And then start to slowly lower, keeping that chest upwards and trying to come forward at the waist for me. Nice deep breath. So you want to be breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, trying to get those muscles to relax and play ball. And then we're going to bend again, coming forward a bit further. And go into straighten. See if you can get any further into that stretch, keeping yourself upright. So I don't want you slouching into it. I want you up nice and tall. And then one last knee bend. And straighten again. So again, being mindful of this foot over here and making sure that your toes haven't turned inwards. And then relax. And we're just going to spend 20 seconds just here in the middle, stretching down. Again, trying to keep yourself from slouching. So keeping your chest a little bit higher for me. And we're going to focus on that breathing. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just try and relax all those muscles and see whether or not your body will let you lower any further. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Just get to where you can get to. If you can't get as low as me, not a problem. If you can get lower than me, congratulations. It's definitely not a flexible day for me today. Okay, and come out of that one. So we're not going to need that strap again for the rest of the session. So we're just going to get rid of that for a second. And we're going to come down onto your back and we're going to go into a version of a bridge. So from here, I want your feet to be wider than you might normally do for your bridge. So more about shoulder height. So we're getting our hips into a bit of abduction here. So the key is as you lift, do not let your knees drop inwards like so, okay? So we're going to just tilt the pelvis like the pelvic tilts that we did earlier. So rock back, close the gap between the floor and your mat. So it looks like this. Hands down on the floor, and then we're going to lift the hips towards the ceiling and hold for a couple of seconds before coming back down again. So what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to overextend. We just want to be in one straight line and back down. So we're going to go for another 8. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Giving that butt a squeeze on the top. 5. So squeezing here. 6. 7. And 8. And then back down, bringing your feet back to center. And then we're going to just take your knees to one side, keeping the opposite shoulder on the mat. If your shoulder starts to lift, then keep your knees up a bit further. So just taking that out to the side, allowing that stretch, focusing on your breath. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm aware that my microphone has slipped. Trying to get you some good sound quality. May not be playing as well as I'd hoped. And take the knees over to the other side. And it might even be a miracle if the microphone stays working for the whole of this. Okay, and back to center. So we're going to bridge again. So take those feet out wider for me into that shoulder width distance apart. We're going to tilt that pelvis. So again, it looks like this movement. So flattening here, and then we're going to lift. We're going for another 10. Try and keep your core engaged as well. So pulling your belly button back to your spine as if there was a piece of string on the inside of that belly button that was being tugged through your back. So keep that core engaged. This is 3. Remember, we want to focus on the knees not coming inwards, so not like this. We want to keep them here. And we want to make sure that we don't go into overextension of our spine. So it's either lower or it's in a straight line. We're never pushing past into arching our lower back. 5 more. 1. 2. You may be feeling it in the sides of the hips here now. 3. 4. Last one, make sure you're squeezing that bum. 5. Now from here, we're going to go back to the center, take our legs over like we did before, but this time we're going to try and take the top knee and we're going to try and hold it a little bit closer to the body up here. So you should feel a bit more of a stretch down your bum on the side that you've lifted up. And change. Hopefully you're all still with me. All is good. And back to center. So from here, we're going to lengthen out. So flat on the floor, taking your left leg up towards the ceiling. So I want you to keep that leg straight. If you have to bend your knee to get your leg in that position, I want you just to lower the leg so that you can keep it straight at all times, because I want you to feel that hamstring stretch. And then from here, we're going to draw circles on the ceiling. We're going for 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And gently lower that leg down. We're going to swap to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And slowly lower. Now pulling your left knee in towards your chest and just giving that a nice hug inwards, keeping your right leg out straight. I'm hoping this microphone's not so good that it can pick up all my stomach gurgles. I do apologise if that's the case. I had tomato soup, nothing that exciting. So nice deep breaths. And then elongate that leg back out, and then taking the right knee in towards your chest. And we're just going to swap it around for a minute. So taking your left leg and bringing your knee and your hip into 90 degrees of extension. From here, keeping this leg anchored onto the floor, we're going to take the knee out to the side. So opening up into the groin and then bringing it back in again. We're going to go for 10 of these. Trying to keep your back flat on the floor like we've been doing on the other exercises. Just go as far as you're comfortable and don't let yourself rock with it. Otherwise, you'll think you're getting further than you actually are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. And then relax that leg back down, and we're going to swap into the other one straight away. So 10 here. Again, just be mindful that you're not rolling to one side with it. One might open up better than the other. This one for me is certainly my more mobile hip. 3, 4, 5. Try and think about keeping your core engaged as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then we're going to pull that left knee back into the chest. Right leg extended, focusing on your breathing. And swap. And extend. So back into leg lift. So left leg. Let's go for those circles. See if you can go the other way round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And control it down. Swap legs. Straight leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower under control. Left knee in towards the stretch, in towards the chest, and hold that stretch for me. Hopefully your hips are not screaming at you too much right now. Trying to ease you into this program fairly nicely. And then we're going to swap. So right knee in towards your chest. And then lastly, we're going to go into those hip openers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,